Start.
Good morning po, sir. Before we start our interview, I would like to introduce myself first. So, I am Subia Ann Dinega from National Teachers College, and we are here to conduct an interview. So, I really need to privacy. So, I want to reassure you that everything we discuss today will be kept strictly confidential. Your experiences, insight, and teaching approach in transition education will only be used for evaluation and social related purposes. We recognize that some of the topics we discuss, such as students' needs, classroom strategies, and their professional experiences, may be sensitive. Rest assured that any information you share about students, colleagues, and specific situations will remain confidential and will only be shared in the designated personnel. If at any point you have concern about confidentiality, please be free to address them with us, because our goal here is to ensure a respectful and reassuring environment where you can openly discuss your commitment to transition education. So, introduce yourself.
Okay. By the way, I am Carmelo D. Calado, Special Education Teacher 1 of San Lorenzo Luis Elementary School, Division of Pasig City.
So, proceed na po tayo sa first question.
Yes.
What key skills do you focus on when preparing students for transition?
Actually, there are so many skills to be developed when it comes to transitions, because we are preparing them to be independent and be productive citizens when they go outside the school. So my main skills is the daily living skills. Yan yung that is our main focus for them to develop. Kasi if they learn this daily living skills, there will be an independent individuals when it comes to outside. When they are in the mainstream community.
What factors do you prioritize when setting transition goals with students?
Factors to be prioritized. Actually, transition program students should be what you call this, yung kanilang their attitude, yung kanilang behaviors, na they can follow the one step or two steps direction. It is very important for them to gain the skills in daily living.
And what accommodation and strategies do you usually use in your transition class?
Accommodation strategies. Well, strategies, we have this real object, like I have a dining table. So, meron kaming dining table for them, para sa skills nila in what you call this, in preparation sa food. We have also meron kaming gas range for cooking. We have UCRs kasi we train them to be depende sa skills ng bata kung saan sila bagay. Kung bagay sila for janitorial works, yun yung tutukan natin. Kung bagay naman siya for the housekeeping, doon natin sila lahat. That's it. So, depende yan kung yung accommodation doon sa behavior ng bata kung saan siya pwede.
What support system or accommodation might be necessary for the students to be success in a work environment?
That is one of our biggest problem. Kasi because paglabas when our transition program student exit sa school, parang wala na silang mapuntahan. So, that is one of our big problem. Saan pupunta, where this student goes, when they go outside the school, na-train na namin sila for this what we call the livelihood skills. And then, pagdating sa outside, actually may mga establishment naman na ngayon na nagsusupport na sa kanila. Pero dito sa school, meron kaming mga ginagamit. Like sabi ko nga, meron for housekeeping, meron kaming mga gamit for them, for what we call this, for cooking, meron din kaming mga gamit for them. Yan yung mga ano namin. Well, pagdating naman sa mga support groups, marami naman tumutulong sa akin, like the what we call yung mga NGOs dyan na nasa labas, yung mga organizations and groups.
How often do you communicate with parents or guardians about transition?
Actually, daily. Daily ang communications. Pag may, kasi hindi naman pwedeng, actually parents talaga ang kausap ko dyan pagdating sa kanila kasi pag nagbigay ka ng instruction sa kanila, mamaya wala na yun eh. So kailangan i-follow up mo yan dun sa parents. So when it comes to communication with parents, ano yan? Everyday yan, daily.
Do you incorporate technology into transition planning and instruction?
Yes. Nag-incorporate ako ng ano, tulad natin, pag nagli-lesson kami, they go to yung monitor, yan, pupunta sila dyan, sila na mismo yung, ano tawag nun, yung mga kids, halimbawa, mag-circle, o sa edit, sila na nagaganon, pupunta sila sa team, o point nila, gagawin nila. O kaya, yung mga matching type, sila mismo nagaganon na. Ayan. Tapos, meron din kami, minsan, pinapa-operate ko sila sa laptop.
How does your curriculum support students for transition?
Well, actually, maganda naman ang curriculum for the transitions. We have curriculum for transition program. Yes, one. We have care skills. Ayan. This is the transition curriculum program for learners with disabilities. Ayan. So we have the care skills package. Ano pa ba? And we have the livelihood package. Meron tayong ganito. Meron tayong life skills. And then, meron din tayong functional academics program. And then we have the enrichment program for them. Ito yung ating sinusunod pagdating sa curriculum.
What resources or support system would be most benefit for the student to transition successfully into employment?
Again, ano nga yun?
What resources or support system would be most beneficial for the student to transition successfully into employment?
What resources? Resources, mga real objects na dapat na-handle nila, nahawakan nila, na ma-manipulate nila yung mga bagay na yan. Yan ang pinaka-importante. Hindi lang picture, hindi lang sinasabi sa kanya. Dapat at the same time, so when you give instruction to them, they manipulate.
So more on explanation.
Yes, more than experiential. Theoretical, di tayo masyado dyan.
What are the biggest challenges you face in helping student transition success?
My biggest challenges as a transition program teacher, number one is the parents cooperations. Yun number one. Kasi akala kasi ng ibang parents na pag dinala nila yung anak nila rito, okay na. Akala nila ang kanilang estudyante ay regular students na pag iniwan mo sa school, bahala ka na sa buhay mo, kaya mo na yan. Pero hindi eh. Hindi eh. Kailangan na andyan sila lagi para pag may problema, ma-approach mo agad, matatawag mo sila. Kaya may mga bangko ako dyan, pag pumasok sila, nandyan lang sila. Sabi, anytime, pag may nag-trigger kasi, nagtatantrums din yung mga yan eh. Pag mayroong nag-trigger na ganyan. So, madali, matatawag agad sila. Yan, number one yun, yung parent supports. And then, yung ibang students natin ay walang this therapy. O isa pang problema yan, akala na rin ng magulang, okay na rin yung anak nila. Dini-disregard na nila yung therapy session na yan. Well, hindi natin mag-blame naman because walang pambayad, di ba? Pero may mga libre naman. May mga parent naman ako nakakausap na they do their own therapy sa anak nila eh. Pero kaya naman yung dapat ko. So yun, number one, yung parent na talaga. And then, pagdating naman sa school, wala naman tayong problema. Siguro sa ibang school, gano'n, yung support na galing sa taas. May mga partners naman tayo na sa schools, meron din tinatawag tayo ng organization na sumusuporta sa mga bata. Yun lang rin yung problema natin. Yung paglabas niya ng bata, saan sila pupunta.
What do you find most rewarding about work as a counselor?
Most rewarding na makita mo yung mga estudyante mo paglabas mo na nag-work na o kaya naman nakikita mo dyan sa street nagtitinda kahit lang mga peaceful lang, very rewarding na yan.
Yung pagiging independent.
Yes. Pagpunta mo sa kanila sa bahay nila, marunong na sila na mag-ayos sa bahay nila.
May kusa na.
Nauutusan sila. Meron akong estudyante, nakauutusan ng bumili sa tindahan, magbibili lang yung papel na kung ano yung bibilhin. Okay. Yun, very rewarding na yun sa amin.
And for the last question, what advice would you give to new transition teachers?
Advice to the new transition teachers, isa lang. You said it right. Mahabang pasensya, mahabang pagtsatsaga, at kailangan may laman din ang bulsa mo.
Totoo po.
Ha? Kasi hindi mo maiwasan ikaw mag-aabot. At ikaw papakainin pag hindi mo naman matiis yan. So, may example ako, may isang bata ako nakalabas dyan sa gate. Nanguha ng sa tindahan, yung tindahan niya. Sino babayad? Di sa teacher. Ganon. So yun, mahabang yung tiyaga mo, yung pasensya mo, at saka yung may pera ka lagi. Yun lang.
That's all for our video. And we would like to thank you, sir, for accepting the
Yes. Welcome kayo lahat. Lahat ng mga gusto mag-special education na teacher. Ang bigay ko lang sa inyo, habaan nyo lang yung pasensya nyo. Ako actually, hindi naman ako talagang graduate as sped teacher eh. Regular teacher ko, graduate ako as Bachelor of Elementary Education. So generalist ako. So, first assignment ko sa grade 4. Nagkataon lang, meron kami dito sa school namin na nag-cater ng blind. May isang teacher sa akin nag-approach, sir, baka gusto mo magturo sa SPED. Pinagbigyan ko, nagustuhan ko naman. Siguro this is my calling. Kasi 2010 until now, nandito pa rin ako. Dati, notorious ako na teacher sa regular school. Dati ako ang namimingit, ako ang nangaano sa bata. Ngayon, ako na ang ginagano ng bata sa SPED. Wala, ito yun? Di ba? Matapang akong teacher sa regular. Nung nasa SPED na ako, bumait ako na teacher. Ako na inaabuso ng bata.